This is Broke Money Hustle. And now, here's Broke Money Hustle with Trico and Eric.
Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, something, I think the 8th of September. Yesterday was Labor Day.
Yeah.
Did you have a good Labor Day?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I didn't do a lot yesterday. Saturday and Sunday, I was kind of redoing stuff on the house, trying to get some of that sweet equity built up in the old Trico estate over here. And then Monday I was supposed to, or Labor Day I was supposed to kind of work on the honey to-do list, but I was so tired. I'm just going to lay down for a minute and relax, and then I kind of didn't get back up the rest of the day.
Dozed off for the rest of the day.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, we went to a neighborhood volleyball picnic party thing, which was a lot of fun. It wasn't in our neighborhood. Our neighborhood's much too uppity and stuck up for that, but it was great. Virtually nobody wearing masks. We had barbecue, hot dogs. There was a lot of bees.
A lot of bees?
Yeah, bees tend to be attracted to food at pavilions and parks, apparently. And
yeah.
I watched my wife play dozens of games of volleyball, so that was a fun time. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in for Broke Money Hustle. This is the podcast where two broke money individuals trying to do non-broke money things like invest in ourselves, do side hustles, be good stewards of our money, buy stocks and investments, and try to not waste a whole bunch of money on bric-a-brac, despite what's in our backgrounds. And so we're just trying to encourage everybody who's listening along that poor is a mindset. Being broke is okay, and there are ways out of it. You just got to do some hard work, and we're here to share some of those. We usually try to have good guests to share their side hustles and their experiences in trading and whatnot. And we are happy that you're with us today, whether you're listening on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you are at on the Indie Bolton Network. We're happy to have you listening to us again, and thank you for joining us. So, obviously, the biggest news was our massive Tuesday, Thursday, and now apparently Thursday, Friday, and then today dips. The market is in a weird downward spiral. Everything is on sale, and I'm hurting right now. Hurting.
Yeah, I'm in the red overall on my overall on my portfolio. I'm in the red, and looks like I have a couple of things that are green, but not enough to really pull me out of the out of the negative.
I'll tell you what, my Robinhood is a tale of two EV manufacturers. So I don't know. I guess maybe I got guilty of FOMO because I really worked hard to get in on the split for Tesla, the split for Apple, managed to do both, and now I'm paying for it big time. Like actually paying for it out of pocket, because right now Apple is below, I think it was $118 a share at the split. Now it's like trading at $114. That's like, and Tesla is down, like what, 20-30%? I'm losing, I've only got the one share, but I'm losing over $200 on that one share. Good golly, Miss Molly. But I did say a tale of two, and we had some really interesting news come out today with Nikola partnering up with GM. Did you hear about that, TJ?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it. I haven't had a chance to read up on it. It was one of the stories that when I open up Google, it was one of the stories, because Google knows I'm a sucker for anything involving business or stocks, so they always kind of show me that, and I'm like, oh man, that's cool. And I emailed it. I saw an article about it, so I emailed it to myself for later, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Yeah. Apparently, GM has a stake in Nikola. They have an 11% ownership. I don't know if it's just of the company itself or of the Badger, just the truck, but GM is going to be doing the manufacturing of the Badger. Nikola is providing the fuel cell technology, and it seems like a win-win partnership here. The stock is performing beautifully. It's up 45%. I wish I'd have bought more shares when it was down at $30, but it's cruising above 50 again, and it's nice to see some positive news in the EV market with Tesla taking a big slide. And a lot of people, it did not get included in the S&P 500. That's another reason why it had a big hit today. So the company is it's dealing with not enough profit and not getting into the S&P 500. So those are two big punches to the face, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, after Friday, and especially Friday, I was kind of like, me, I was never big into technology stocks, and now I'm like even more scared of them.
I know, even my Nvidia, which is still up from when I bought it, is now down, and it's like, but these are the things when you get into this game, and it really is a game of trying to grow your money with stocks instead of just putting it into a 0% interest bank account. You have to take these punches with stride. You still own the assets. I still own a share of Tesla. Now it just behooves the company to do some good things to make its stock more valuable again. Same for Apple. Anybody who's down, and you take the ups with the downs, and hopefully you can position yourself to buy the dip if it's a company that you believe in. Now, I've been reading through a little bit of article about trying to understand what's going on with Tesla. And the thesis is that Tesla's poor earnings quality over the last 26 quarters may have been the chief reason for the S&P 500 snubbing it, so it didn't get in the S&P 500. We've established that. They've shown a positive net income in 4 of the 26 quarters, excluding one-time credit sales. And this is an analyst on Benzinga. This is an article coming from Benzinga. And basically, they've got the Tesla's balance sheet and cash flow quality are poor. And I think the saddest part of the news is that a GLJ research analyst Gordon Johnson has a sell rating on Tesla with a $19 price target. So it's brutal. It's one of those things. It's like, do I just own the stock and just keep it regardless of what it does? Do I lock in my losses now? Because it's I'm locking in at least $200 in losses at this point, and walk away. And it's one of those things that I need to do more DD and find out, because Tesla's not just an automaker. SpaceX, the human brain chip implant. This is there's still like I'm tripping over my own tongue today. There's still a really good chance that this company's got a huge future ahead of it. But it's kind of odd, it's like the stock that everybody wished they owned, and then when it did the split, it crashed, and now it's like a pariah.
Yeah. Yeah, because before that, everyone loved Tesla. Like every YouTuber was always talking about Tesla. They were always recommending it. Now, I'm not saying everyone hates it, but you don't hear as many good things about it now. I still think it's probably a good stock to hold on to. I don't know. I think it will bounce back, but I'm not. Neither of us are really experts on it.
No, not at all. But and I'm looking at the analyst ratings on Robinhood, and there's a 22% buy rating still for the stock, a hold rating of 49%, and a sell rating of 30%. So everybody's kind of split. So the experts, the quote experts, aren't like sure of themselves. It seems like. That's 22% of 37 different ratings have it at that. So bulls are saying that Tesla has the potential to change the world with long-range EV technology. Bears say investing in Tesla carries tremendous uncertainty. The market has high expectations. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've got something awesome. You shared with me that you've been putting together some really impressive-looking spreadsheets for your investments. So we definitely want to get into that a little bit later. But I think first, let's talk about the stocks that you are dating, marry, and killing, because I have a really serious date with Tesla here. I don't know. But that's my biggest date, my big date. And I haven't killed anybody, and I ain't married anything yet. So what do you got?
Friday, luckily, I wasn't really watching the market too much. Because lately it hasn't been too exciting. And then Friday, you kind of mentioned like, hey, have you seen the market? So I went on, and some things were on sale pretty good. Um, and it was right around the time when I'm really getting into monthly dividend stocks. That's my new phase I'm going through, I guess. So I went through and bought like a bunch of monthly dividend stocks on Friday. So um, and a lot of them were fairly inexpensive, so I bought like a lot of them. Plus, they were on sale. But there's three of them I had to kill like the next day. I bought them on Friday, and I put the issued a hit on them through Robinhood on Monday because I found out they canceled their dividends, and
Oh no!
that's a big no-no to me. Like, you know, because the dividend stocks a lot of times uh, they're not like a company I have a lot of emotion with, like
Right.
with Ford. I grew up with Ford, we always had Ford trucks, so there's a certain degree of emotion there. But a lot of my dividend stocks, especially the monthly ones, so the monthly ones are a lot of times they're a finance company or a company that's kind of like an investment company, or some of them are like a real estate company. So they're more or less just there to make money and pay dividends. Like, they're not there to produce a nice vehicle, so I don't get as much attached to those. So one of them I had to kill off was CPTA, Capitella Finance. So when I pulled it up on Robinhood, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good dividend yield. It's saying 45.76% on Robinhood, and it's only like a $10 stock. So I'm like, all right, this sounds pretty sweet. But then if I head over to dividend.com, that's one thing I'm learning is always kind of check to make sure they didn't cancel their dividends, because usually they don't say anything. They've suspended their dividends, so they're not paying them right now.
Mhm.
So when they are paying them, it's a pretty sweet deal. For a $10 stock, you get 50 cents every month.
Wow.
But they suspended them since last time they paid out was the end of March.
Mhm.
So I'm like, well, I'm not going to hold on to this. I'll just, it's on my list. I'll keep on checking in on it. Kind of like yeah, it's one of those stocks I'm going to call it like 3 a.m. Like I'm not going to, continue to date it. I'm just going to call it once in a while when I want to see it, kind of thing. So another one that I bought that I'm going to hold on to is GNL, Global Net Lease. I bought that today at 17.45. So, of course, once I bought it, it went down about 14 cents.
Mhm.
But it's another one that's a monthly dividend. So dividend yield it's saying is 10.65. Let me look up what the actual monthly dividends are here. Usually the monthly dividends are not anything huge. Usually it's like from a lot of them I've seen, it's only around 6 cents. Oh, this one's a pretty good one. GNL, their dividend payout. Oh no, this one's a quarterly one. How did it get onto my? Huh. This one's only a quarterly one, but somehow it finagled its way onto my monthly dividend spreadsheet.
Oh no.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? But yeah, it's 40 cents every quarter. So, and it was only around 17 and some change today, so I bought that one. And then let's see, ones that I'm kind of dating. Not really dating anything. I'm just kind of buying it and then kind of seeing if it works out, I guess. There's one HJT. I think this was the one that I bought. I made a few cents on and I dropped it. Yeah, I made a little bit on this one. Sam Jackson Thomas, HJT. Um, this was another one that was a monthly dividend earner. I bought it on Friday. Then when I was looking around on dividend.com, I found out that it's another company that suspended their dividends. So I'm like, well, I'm going to get rid of this one. But I made a little bit on it. I think about 10 cents on it. So I just kind of took it out for the weekend and then got rid of it as soon as as soon as Monday rolled around. So that was kind of my date, I guess. I took it out, had a good time, made a little bit of money, and got rid of it, kicked it to the curb. But yeah, other than that, everything else I've been buying for now is a Mary, because I'm planning on keeping it and then just kind of reaping some of those monthly dividends.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Yeah, like I said, for me, my biggest Mary is, or my biggest date right now is Tesla. Not sure exactly where we're going as a couple, and
it's a girl of expensive taste.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's ridiculous. I feel kind of bad for doing it, but you just never know. You never know with these things, and the market is real. We all know. We've been trying to say this over and over again. The market is weird. It's not actually operating by its own principles anymore. You largely have the Fed injecting capital, printing money, and propping up zombie companies by buying their debt, their bonds, and now starting to get into buying shares. And it's one of those things. It's like I'm thankful that all my eggs aren't in this stock market basket. I've got gold, silver, I've got crypto. And, just like, even though kind of everything this weekend kind of took a little bit of a hit, I still, there's still secure holdings of capital to where, I'm not going to lose, it's going to fluctuate, but I'm not going to lose everything,
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I've noticed since silver I haven't checked in a while, but for a while it was up a lot and everyone was selling silver, and now it's about where it seems like it has been since I got into silver. Now that it's not up a lot, I can't find anyone locally selling silver.
Yeah, you can really tell there's a real knee-jerk reaction to things.
Yeah.
Because when silver was near $30 an ounce, people were like, "Oh man, I'll make a ton of money off this stuff," and then it got quietly back down to 26. And there's lots of market manipulation that's going on with this, and silver is artificially being depressed. Largely, there's the situation with the Rona going on. Mine's not up to operational standards yet, and so there's not much supply to meet the demand, but also factories aren't up and running, so the demand's not super high. So there's lots of mitigating factors going on, kind of keeping the. I'm mainly watching this gold silver ratio where it went up today a little bit, 0.70, and it's been on a downtrend for a while, so.
Yeah,
gonna keep an eye on it, and it's one of these things. It's like this is where you put your money, to where it's the safest, where it's got the most potential to grow, but there's no guarantees. Our Acorns was doing swimmingly well with its Vanguard EFTs, and it took a hit too. But just like with back in March, it's going to recover because it recovered really well then. So, and plus, I think we're getting so close to the election cycle, companies, banks, everybody's just kind of like on edge, like, how's this going to play out?
Yeah.
We see this every election cycle where major corporations, businesses, they stop investing, they stop making big moves because then they're just kind of like holding and hoarding back because they don't know how the election is going to play out. And sadly, the differences in the two parties are so stark contrasts that you have to have completely different game plans depending on who wins. You got one that largely, for the longest time, was supposed to be fiscally responsible. Now they both play the same Keynesian dirty pool debt game, and that's a huge disappointment. But you never know. Like for example, if one party wins, it might be better for China than it is for the United States. And if another party wins, it might be better for the United States than it is for China. We could have an escalated trade war. There's so much uncertainty right now. And the market's reflecting that, obviously.
Exactly. But I don't know. Hopefully everything works out. And hopefully the market goes up soon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun to look at again. Right now, it's unless I'm buying, it's not much fun.
Yeah, it's one of those like, oh, yeah, I think I'll just focus on work today and not stay with this. But anyway, we do have something really cool. I really am excited for you to share with us. How are you tracking your investments? Spreadsheets are a mystery to me. Excel is one of those things. It's like, I don't want to learn that. I hate it. Just looking at it, I hate it. So please give me your wisdom. Give us your wisdom. How are you doing this?
Yeah, let me do a screen share here. All right. So this is kind of like a basic Excel spreadsheet and like just a basic chart, just to kind of give myself a general idea of how much I have where. And right now it's kind of boring because a lot of the shares for some of these or a lot of the stocks for some of these I only have one share of, so it's not as exciting as it normally would be. Also, I'm about a bit of a control freak where I like to enter in my own data. I think on Robinhood there's either an XML file or maybe even a spreadsheet you can download that will give you all the information. But I'm kind of I've been like at my day job, I make a lot of spreadsheets and a lot of charts. So I prefer to do it myself. So on here, I have a couple different tabs. This tab is the most recent one I've been working on for monthly dividends. So what I usually do is the columns here, I like to be able to sort. Let's see, this column I just added recently because I redid the chart. So I need to add that so I can sort it. So if you're in Excel and you go over to data, press filter, this will allow you to sort. So if I wanted to see once everything's in there, and you can put in whatever information you'd like if you're creating your own. Main thing I would suggest is symbol. I like to put in when I bought it, and then I'm a dividend guy, so I like the dividend yield. I put in the average cost of what I bought it for, just so I can kind of keep track. And then the number of shares, but you can kind of do whatever you want on there. Like the company name, you really don't need it. I put in there just because I'm a bit of a completist. This one I'm still kind of working on, so it's unfinished. And I got some notes over here of when the ex-dividend date is, so I know, like this one's coming up in a couple weeks. So I'm keeping an eye on this one for a dip, so I can snag some of this and get in right before the ex-dividend date, because then I feel like I'm getting one over on the stock company, because I'm like sliding in right before the cutoff for the dividend. And then I just have notes of like where it's at a certain time. So a couple weeks from now, if it's above $56 on this one, I know like, if it goes below 56, I know like, well, it's on a dip, so I can do that. And this is a really basic spreadsheet because I'm still working on a way to link all this data to a table so that all the information is live instead of me having to enter it. Usually on Mondays I'll enter it in. But anyways, once you have the filter set up on here, like if I wanted to see what I bought today, I could just go over, click on filters or date filters, and then I'll just look at today, and it kind of changes my chart over here too. It's today's date. So this is kind of what I bought today. It just kind of shows you the amount and what stock. And it doesn't show how many shares though. It's just a kind of overview of what I have in there. So let's say if you wanted to make this chart, let me unfilter this. Let's say you wanted to make a chart like this. I'll delete that one. All right. So what I would do is, if you want to know what your total investment is for each stock, I would just go ahead and highlight. Well, let me highlight that, and I'll go over here to insert and then click on a pie chart here. Normally for data analysis, the 3D pie chart looks pretty cool, but data analysis rarely ever take it seriously. So if you see it, then you know the person's not a professional data analyst, because they don't use these. Donut charts look pretty cool too, but yeah, it looks like I have more when I don't use a donut chart, so I just use a regular pie chart. So I'll go through and expand this a little bit. So you have all the colors here, but it doesn't tell you which one is which or how much you have in there. So I'm going to want that information. So what I'll do is, you can do this in any order. If you right click on the pie chart itself, go to select data, and then go to edit. So this is your axis label range. So instead of like blue being 1 and orange being 2, what I'm going to do is go over here and click on that symbol, hold down the shift key, and then click on the last one, and you'll see all the cells and everything will be in here, and then click on OK. So that puts all the ones down here, but it's still kind of it helps, but it's still kind of a pain, because you're like, okay, yellow is gain. I got a little bit in there, but it doesn't tell me how much I have. So what I'll do is I'll kind of right click on there, add a data label. So then it gives me the amount for each one. But then it's still kind of a pain, because it's like, okay, I got $70 in orange. Orange kind of looks like BTT, but the print down here is kind of small, and some of the colors are really close. Like, that looks like the dark orange. That's kind of the light orange. So what I'll do is I'll right click again. I'll go to Format Data Labels, and this will show up over here. My access or my Excel kind of runs kind of slow, because there was an enhancement I downloaded one time for doing some data analyzing, and even though I've taken it off of there, it still kind of slows it down. So normally all your stuff will probably show up a lot faster than mine. So let's see, I want to add the category name, basically what stock it is. So I'll click on there, and then it shows me my stocks on there. So I can close that out. And then, then from there you can kind of play around with it. Like here, it's hard to read because it's kind of a darker slice of the pie. Mm-hmm. So I'll go over here to home. I'll go over to the letter color, and I'll change that to white, and changes all these to white except for these ones on the outside. I don't want to be white because I can't see them. There we go. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of change some of these individually. So you just kind of click on the individual ones, and you can change the different colors there. So I kind of did that for that one. Normally, since all these are one share, you could do it over here in the average cost one. But like in my aristocrats over here, we go up a little bit. There we go. Like over here, I've been doing some drips, so I have like oddball numbers for everything. Like if like I have 1.01. Let's see, Coke, I have 6.03. So what I did on here was I just kind of did like a formula so that I don't have to go through and calculate this all the time. Here, let's see. Let me go down here to Coke. There it is. All right, so let me erase the formula there. All right, so normally I'd have to get out a calculator and be like, all right, I bought it for 46.27 times 6.03. Let's say it's all this happened before I did a drip, so I only had 6. I do the calculation, but then the drip happens, and then it goes to 6.03, and then I have to calculate this all over again. So what I do there is I just do a formula. So I'll do equals and then sum, because, oh, wait, not sum. Just do equals, and then click on there, and then do times. and then I'll click on there. So you're doing this amount per share times the amount of shares, and then just click on enter, and it does all the calculations for me here, and it updates, the graph will update as soon as the calculations here are done. Sometimes if you have a lot of formulas, you just go up to formulas and you calculate now and it'll run everything. I think, yeah, I have this set up to automatic, so it does all the calculations automatically for me. But yeah, and then you don't even have to do the formula for each one. Let's say this one didn't have a formula. Instead of going through and typing in the formula again, you could just take that, grab the corner, and drag it down, and it'll give you all the formulas.
Huh.
Yep.
Wow.
Only thing is, it changed all the color of the cells. So let me go through and undo that, because I'm really particular about all that.
Well, what's the logic behind your color coding there too?
Oh, green means I bought it, and red is kind of like stay away. Let's see, like Otis, I think they suspended their dividend, so I I marked that as red, because I'm like, no, I'm not buying them, not until I get some of that dividend money.
And then the non-colored ones are ones you haven't bought yet.
Yeah, they're ones I haven't bought yet.
I do recommend that Realty Income one.
Yeah, they're also a monthly dividend company too. I think they're a dividend aristocrat, so they've been paying out dividends forever, and they're paying them out monthly, so that's always a good thing. Otis, I don't know why I have this in red. I just looked it up on dividend.com, and it's not suspended. So I'll go through and not make them red, because everyone needs elevators. Like, I don't think I have anything against an elevator company that I know of.
With the up and the down and the where's the sideways elevators?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, like on the monthly dividend ones, the ones that I bought and found out they didn't pay out dividends anymore, I put those in red, just kind of a reminder, hey, don't buy these. But it's also kind of a reminder to kind of check back in, see if they're paying dividends again. And then I got the notes over here. I kind of put some notes in there to remind me of things. In the dividend and aristocrat spreadsheet, or the page on the spreadsheet, if I put DK and DA, it kind of lets me know that it's a dividend king and an aristocrat. So if I buy Emerson, I can kind of check off 2 squares, I guess, if we're playing dividend bingo.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. And I could probably rearrange it, like if I wanted to do the graph where I didn't have any of the zeros in here, I could probably, let me see if we'll do it automatically when I go into here. If I unselect that, let me see if it updates a graph on here. See what I mean? My Excel's super slow. Like, this isn't even there's not a lot of formulas in here, so it shouldn't be this slow. But that's what I get for downloading an upgrade and then trying to.
Maybe you could uninstall the whole thing and reinstall it and get rid of that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Might be something in your registry. Like, sometimes when you uninstall programs, not all the program goes away, and you have to go through like a registry cleaner.
Yeah, I bet you that's probably what happened, because I tried basically just ripping it out, like gutting it out of there, and that's when it started going really slow like this. But oh yeah, well, let me flip over. But yeah, that's a little bit about graphs. I'm kind of just doing a simple one for now, just kind of help myself kind of keep track of things, because I've been trying to get all the dividend kings and all the aristocrats and everything, and now my new kind of obsession is monthly dividend stocks. So it kind of helps me keep track of them. Eventually, I want to mess around with it and figure out a way to link it up so it's live. So I'm getting some live data where it'll show me if I'm up or down.
Wow, how would you do that?
I don't know if I'd be able to. Basically, they would, if the website will let me link it up to. probably link it up to their database somehow.
It'd have to be some sort of API plugin or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But that would be really cool.
Because I could make it work. And this is just an Excel. Like you could probably do like a Access database, where it would probably be better to kind of link it up to an Access database and something that would kind of give me live info. Because I would like something like that where I mean Robinhood does it for me, where it shows what I bought it for, and like you can filter Robinhood to show you if you're up 10 cents or down 10 cents or something like that. But
Right.
it would be nice to have it in my own chart and everything. Plus, I think if I found a way to link it, it would only work as long as I'm logged in, and I'm real careful to always make sure I log out of any of my accounts or financial things, just in case. But yeah, this is just some kind of basic sheets. There's also a website I found the other day, and I can't remember it now, so I have to post that on our social media when I remember what it is. But there's a website I was playing around with where it'll calculate your investment over a certain period of time. So I was playing around with that, but now I can't remember what the website was. But those are good too, if you can kind of find a website that will calculate it for you. You can even do the calculations here on Excel if you want. But you have to, I guess even if you do it on a website, you have to tell the website if you're expecting like a 3% growth every year, or 6% or something like that, and it'll calculate it out for you. But that's something else you could do on Excel if you wanted to kind of do like a burn up chart where it shows you your how much your stocks grow over time. It would all be speculative because we don't know for sure, but you could do something like that to kind of show you, like, by the time your retirement age, how much your stocks would be worth, or how much, your dividends will be paying out or something by then.
All right. Well, thank you for that. That was really actually kind of fascinating. It's one of those things. It's like I'm just too right-brained enough to where it's like spreadsheets and data and all. I'm like, I can't do it. But you made it sound pretty simple. So, and I love seeing it in practice. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I like hands-on things. Like in an automotive background, when I was taking automotive classes, it was nice because everything was hands-on. So like with Excel, I like it because you can kind of mess around with it, and it's a lot more hands-on than reading like reading an article or a book or something about stocks and everything. I'd rather kind of play with it, manipulate the data myself, and look at it from different aspects.
All right, very cool. Well, hopefully that's been a big help, and it never hurts to do more work at home where you're logging stuff and tracking stuff down, and knowing how to do it yourself. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. It just goes to how you manage your finances and your expenses, and it's it's definitely a good skill to have, to be able to track the data and track the information. So I don't really have anything else. I was just kind of scanning a little bit. Also, some more news stories. The new Xbox console price releases have come out. Looks like the low-end model is going to be $299. High-end model is going to be expecting to maybe be $399, possibly $450. But so that's some news there. And other than that, we'll just see what the market does tomorrow. And hopefully this dip won't continue. I haven't been in a position to buy the dip, so
yeah.
And it's like, do I want to buy something that's just going to keep going down? I don't know. You never know where the bottom's going to be. But
exactly.
And I definitely do encourage people, if you really want to try to grow your money, try to get into the market, do it with acorns first, because you can set it and forget it. Those Vanguard ETFs are very reliable as far as growing when the market grows, and not losing a ton. Like it's basically, acorns has been the place where I've lost the least. And getting into stocks, it's a risky game, but it's definitely you have to take risks in order to succeed and to grow into profit. So yeah, and just do your due diligence, do get all the education you can, and be ready for these bear market days, and ride through it, and know that potentially it'll be much better on the backside.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's one concern I have is that everyone's going to freak out and sell all their stocks. And, that's probably not the best thing to do, because most of the time the stocks are going to bounce back. Like tomorrow everything could be up and we could be way in the green.
Yeah, I think a lot of what happened with the Tesla too is that a lot of retail investors like us, doing it on Robinhood and whatnot, it's like they start to see it fall and start selling off. And there was also a couple of stories that I saw during the dip where a lot of hedge funds were selling off their Tesla stock, taking their profits. And so that was like the initial downturn, and then it didn't help that they didn't get into the S&P 500.
Yeah.
Plus with Apple, I just checked Apple again. It's $111 a share, way below what I paid for it. But they are going back and forth with Epic Games. They are countersuing Epic Games for damages. So there is a hot mess going on there as far as their little war with the App Store going on. And so I'm sure that's driving Apple down. It's down about 8%. But yeah, crazy times ahead.
Yeah.
And well, do you have anything else you want to cover today?
No, that's pretty much everything.
Right, man. I know you got a class to teach coming up. I want to thank everyone for listening to us. Hopefully this has been helpful. And if you've got some other way that you like to chart your investments and keep track of what you're doing, feel free to let us know in the comments, either on the video or in DMs. You can follow us at Broke Money on Twitter, at Broke Money Hustle on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. It's Broke Money Hustle. And again, we're just two regular guys who are more blue collar than anything else, and just trying to get out of the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle with multiple side hustles and investments, and just you don't wait till you're rich to start to do rich things. You got to start when you're broke, and that's what we try to advocate here. All right. Well, on behalf of my co-host Trico, I'm Eric, and thank you guys. We will see you on the next episode, and hopefully we'll have some better market news.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
This is Broke Money Hustle. And now here's Broke Money Hustle with Trico and Eric.